Hi guys. So before coming here today, I um, I came across this video on my YouTube feed of this lady. I never heard of her before, but I'm glad it came across my stuff because it was pretty interesting, and it's about a topic that I'm gonna make a video dedicated for that soon, maybe within a day or two, talking about it, even though I've talked about this in the past before. But that's a very interesting and fascinating topic to talk about, which is water. And so basically, she's been doing all this research for the past 4 years, and what she was talking about it on her video. I think her name was Veda, and the last name I don't quite remember what her last name was. Her last name begin with an A, I think, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I can't remember really, but her first name was Veda, and the video that she made was you can look that up on YouTube. I encourage you to do that. I think you're gonna find it interesting if you like the stuff that I talk about. She's talking about I think the title of the video is something along the lines of the power of the living waters trailer. It's a trailer of the documentary that she's going to release based on her research and the things that she's been doing, which is related to water and how water, you know, water is alive. It's sentient. It's a powerful thing. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I really want to make a whole video about this myself very soon. So this one is just to talk about this a little bit and encourage you guys to go and watch this because I thought it was very interesting. So what she was doing was she was putting water in this like petri dish type of thing, right? And then she would freeze the water with like words written underneath on a sheet of paper, or she would put pictures of things, and then she would write words or questions, and then once the water would become frozen, there would be messages in the water. Like the water was answering the things that she was asking. And it was fascinating because let's say she would write the word ring, and she did this for 4 years to prove that this is real. Okay, it's pretty. It's fascinating. Like I said, I love this stuff. This kind of stuff is just mind blowing. And I made a video in the past talking about that Japanese scientist. Many, he did this stuff years ago, right? That he proved that you know water is alive, and he would do these things, right? Hate, love, and things like that, and show how the water once frozen would change based on these things. And what she was doing, let's say, like I said, she would write the word ring, and then she would freeze the water over and over again. She did this for 4 years, right? And then once the water was frozen, there would be a ring, a frozen ring in the water. You could clearly see there was a frozen ring in the water. So how do you explain that? Right? I mean, water is like water is life. We are 75% water. Water is a thought form. It's a very powerful thing. It's a piece of God himself and creation. There is no life without water. Water is everything. And I'm going to leave it at that because like I said, I want to make a video about this. And but go watch her stuff because it's really cool, guys. She talks about this and shows a little bit of her research. It's a short trailer. I think it's like five-ish minutes or something like that. I don't think it's too long. And and then she goes and she shows, like, let's say when she put a picture of an animal or a shape underneath that petri dish before it froze. Once the water froze, that same picture would be engraved in the ice. Like I said, beautiful stuff, amazing, fascinating. I love that kind of thing. And yeah, so water is, there's way more to water than people know and understand. And it's like she was saying on her documentary, Taylor, that we could study a drop of water for a lifetime and we still wouldn't be able to understand much about it. Isn't it interesting though how we have come so far in terms of science and technology when it comes down to a lot of things, and yet when it pertains to specific things such as this, we still know nothing. We know what water is made of, and that's pretty much it. We don't understand. We don't understand really what water is all about and how much of an impact it has on every living form, every living being on the face of this earth. And I'm really looking forward to this documentary because I think it's going to be one heck of a ride. So, yeah, I was just thrilled to see this, and it was exciting. It was exciting to see something like that. Because I've always been interested and fascinated about this ever since I found out about that Japanese guy a couple of decades ago. At least he's done this a long time ago. I think it was back in the late 80s or something like that. Maybe it was a little bit after, but it's been a while that this guy did that. So this research has been around, and there are more people doing it because some people are finally beginning to get a grasp and understand what water is about to a certain degree. We still have a lot to learn though, but it's interesting nevertheless. So if you like that stuff, go check her out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that was the name of it. I think it was something like The Power of the Living Waters documentary, something like that. But anyway, this is it for this one. And maybe the next one I will make is going to be the one where I go into that a little more and talk about that a little more. And yeah, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It helps the channel reach more people, which is the whole reason why I make these videos. And I will catch you all on the next one. Take care. Be safe. Much love to you all.